What's up? What's up? What's up? Fighting again. What is going on with y'all people today? Y'all, today we're gonna do a story time, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna do us a story time on this girl that I know. She's not my friend or nothing like that. Like, I don't consider everybody my friend. And if you know, you know I only got one friend. My best friend. But anyways, story time on that, y'all.
Pulling up outside of magic. Low when I'm ripping the plastic. Low when I'm popping the elastic. 7 on the dick and you never hear nobody snatch. Georgia King. Know that I'm keeping it rags. That nigga gave me his heart.
So yeah, we ain't gonna give out, real names or nothing. We ain't gonna give out real names. So we just gonna call her Cece. Okay. Y'all, Cece, she got this baby or whatever. Came to us and told, me and another girl that about her being pregnant or whatever, so we happy for her, excited for her and all that. So Cece was going with this dude named, we're gonna call him Mike. Cece was going with this dude named Mike. And, that's supposed to initially be her baby daddy or whatever, y'all. They had a girl, a baby girl. And, everything, was everything. He was there with her throughout her pregnancy or whatever, was there with her when she had the baby, going through doctor's appointments and all that. So she ended up having a baby or whatever, So some months go down the line, the baby is probably about a year old, a little over a year old. So the girl Cece ended up finding out that the boy Mike was BS, bi or whatever. So apparently, I guess she couldn't stomach the fact that, her baby daddy was liking men, or whatever, on the side. So long story short, they end up separating or whatever. So she moved to her apartment, got her another place or whatever. So y'all, she ended up, I guess, some, I ain't gonna say all, but some men, you know how they be when y'all separate or whatever. Sometimes they select and don't want to do everything for their kids no more, whatever, because y'all are not together. So they just feel like they gotta, basically fend for themselves or whatever. So he just figured he wasn't gonna help Cece with this baby no more or whatever. But his family was helping her with the baby. So fast forward to the baby turning, because I think she's 6 now. So fast forward to the baby turning like almost 2.5 years old. She ended up getting in contact with this dude that she had worked the week or whatever at this chicken plant. She had met this dude or whatever, and they ended up sleeping together or whatever. But it was like a one-time thing or whatever. So she ended up sleeping with him or whatever. But this was all before she ended up getting pregnant. So she ended up, meeting back up with the dude, told the dude, yeah, like trying to go back and start back dealing with him and shit. So she tell him like, yeah, I had a baby, a little girl. So I guess he asked her like, well, when you had a baby or whatever. So she told him, hold on. Okay, I'm back. So she told him, when she had the little girl or whatever. So I guess she tried to lie to him and tell him that she got pregnant like around the time that they had messed with each other. Remind y'all, she slept with him in the parking lot at the job or whatever that they was working at or whatever. So she do her big one, y'all. I'm talking about real big one. and goes and tell the boy that he is a possibility her baby daddy. So the girl, she was at my house or whatever, and she was like, hey, I need to go back home, because the second dude, we just gonna call him TJ. She was like, I need to go back home because TJ at my house, and he went about a home DNA test, and he want to take a DNA test for my baby or whatever. So I'm looking at her like, Mike supposed to be your baby daddy. What you got going on or whatever. So she ended up leaving, and she went back to her hometown, which was not far from me. And I guess the boys spent the night. I don't know what they did. I don't care. Or whatever. But they supposed to took the home DNA test. And instead of him taking the DNA test and sending it back, sending it off or whatever, he ended up leaving it with her for her to send it back off. So she ended up putting the wrong email address down, because I guess, I don't know how home DNA tests work, but I guess when you send them in, for you to get your results back, you have to either put down a phone number or an email or something like that for you to get your results back. But I think it's through email, because that's what she initially said that she was gonna put it back, get her results back from. So, like 2 weeks supposed to pass. I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how DNA tests work or whatever. I don't know how long it's supposed to take, for your results to come back. So 2 weeks later, she told him that the DNA test came back and that the baby girl was supposed to be his. Now this the dude, TJ, whatever I said we were gonna call him. This him. I said TJ, yeah. So she told him that the baby came back and that the baby came back to be his or whatever. So we're gonna take the story back a little bit. We all know this girl, and this one particular girl, she be doing documents or whatever. I ain't gonna call her name either. She be doing documents, like making doctor excuses, check stubs, pretty much any type of documents and stuff that you could think of. So she hit the girl up that we know, and she was like, hey, it's a mutual friend. Well, it's our mutual friend, sister-in-law, that does the document. So she asked her, she was like, hey, I know you do documents or whatever, and I was trying to see if you could do the DNA results for me. My baby daddy want to see them on paper, but I don't have nothing in writing. I just have the email, and he don't believe the email or whatever. So the girl was like, yeah, I'll do it. I can do it for you or whatever. It's gonna be such or whatever amount that she charged her. So she was like, okay, cool. So she ended up sending the girl the money for the documents or whatever. Y'all, the document looked it so artificial. Like, it did not look like no real DNA. It had DNA diagnostics at the top or whatever, at the top of the paper or whatever. And then it had a column with some numbers and another number and some more numbers or whatever. But if I do know at the bottom of a DNA test, it's supposed to say whether that person is excluded or not excluded from being the biological father of this child or whatever. But at the bottom, you couldn't see that. It was kind of like smeared out, so you couldn't see it. So she ended up sending the DNA test paper initially, the DNA paper, to the boy or whatever. So him and his family done started doing stuff for the child, like taking up time with her. They looking at the baby. Oh yeah, she look like my granddaddy. She got my granddaddy ears and da 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 da. So I'm just like, man. Now at the time we didn't know nothing about. She did the fake DNA results with the girl or whatever. And so our mutual friend was talking to her sister-in-law one day, and she was like, oh yeah, I did some DNA papers for, Mama or whatever. CC Mama, whatever the fuck I said her name was gonna be. She was like, we did some I did some papers for her or whatever. What she got going on? So me and the mutual friend, we trying to put two and two together. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, she was at my house or whatever, and she told me that she was going home because the dude was gonna meet her at her house and they were supposed to do DNA test. They were gonna swipe the little girl mouth or whatever. So she was like, that bitch lied. That bitch lied. She had my sister-in-law to make up some fake DNA papers and make it seem like that's his baby. Y'all, mind y'all, they boy cashing out. I'm talking about they around Christmas time. He cashing out on the little girl. I'm talking about he done spent at least a cool $1,600 on the little girl. Buy her all kind of Nike little tech outfits. Y'all know them Nike tech outfits ain't cheap. Buy the little girl all kind of Jordans, Adidas, Uggs. I'm talking about Jay bought her like a lot of stuff for Christmas. I know the little girl had like 4 pairs of shoes for Christmas. He had about the little girl an iPad and everything, like cashed out on the iPad. That bitch went cheap. I know that iPad every bit of $400 and some dollars. About clothes, everything. Y'all. So goddamn 2 years ago, the dude, I don't really know him like that or whatever, but I guess he ended up finding my Facebook page, y'all. So he ended up contacting me on Facebook or whatever, and he was like, hey, can you call me or whatever? So I was like, oh, Lord, what the hell going on? I didn't want to call him from my phone, so I ended up calling him from Messenger, from Facebook Messenger or whatever. And he was like, oh, that's fucked up that y'all let her lie to me or whatever, telling me that the little girl mine, y'all knew the little girl wasn't mine, all type of shit. So I'm like, bro, I don't know what you talking about. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I know who my kid's dad is. I ain't got nothing to do with that. So, okay, boom. So, some months later, I guess he left it alone or whatever. He was like, I ain't gonna do shit for it. Fuck it. I'm not doing that for that little girl, bro. Like, that's not my little girl or whatever. He was like, I got word that she did a fake DNA test, so I'm not doing shit up for that little girl or whatever. So I was like, I don't know. He was like, and the thing is, she know I know. Because when he tried to get the little girl, he was going to go back and do his own home DNA test and ship it off himself and see what the results came back to be. Y'all, why probably like 3-4 months later, she got another nigga thinking he the little girl daddy. Bruh. So this nigga is taking time out with the little girl, spending time with her. You letting the little girl spend the night with that man, all type of stuff. You don't even know who they man. You know him, but you don't know him like that. Like, I got girls, and I'm just not gonna let them go and spend the night with no any and everybody. Like, my girl 16, and the furthest they ever went and spent night was my mom's house or my sister's house. I don't even play that. Like, I don't play that shit. Like, hell no. So, goddamn, the little girl, start spending night with the third man or whatever. So I guess the man figured out, like, hell nah, bro, this ain't my baby. I ain't finna be doing this or whatever. She don't want to give me no DNA test for that little girl, so I'm not finna be doing nothing for her. So he stopped getting her. So the first baby daddy, he texted me a message. He was like, oh, I can't believe, she did me like that. That fucked up this and that, da-da-da-da-da. Y'all, it took everything in me. I'm just like, bro, don't believe that. That's your baby, bro. Don't believe that. Like, don't let that girl fool you like that. That's your baby. I promise you it's... Nah, she said she took a DNA test. I said, bro, all that shit was fraud. So I went and explained to him, like, what was really going on or whatever. He was like, you fucking serious? And so I was like, yeah. He just like, bro, that shit sad. That shit ain't even cool, bro, what she did. Like, you fucking up my baby life. Like, you don't even know how they make her feel. And you don't know how it make me and my mom and them feel and all that. And I'm like, hey, I get it, bro. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You got every right to be mad or whatever. So now, she don't even talk to the second dude, TJ, who she claimed That was the little girl daddy that she did the fake DNA test with. She don't talk to him no more. He stopped doing shit for the baby. And then he stopped doing for her. The third man, he wasn't doing shit for her. So now you just without a baby daddy. Like, ain't nobody helping you with that little girl or whatever. Oh, and then what make matters worse, y'all, she did it so good to the point where she put the second dude on child support, y'all. This boy was paying child support. He's supposed to went to court, child support court. He did not go to child support court. So, of course, with him not going to child support court, they claimed him, listed him the father by default because he did not go to court or whatever. So, he had been paying like almost $500 and some for this one little girl a month for child support. Mind you, this man got a good job, y'all. He work up there somewhere in Atlanta, with like the airport or some shit. And he been paying child support for the little girl or whatever. So I guess after, everything was all said and done or whatever, he started like taking legal actions and stuff or whatever. So now he got it where she got to pay him money back for the child because the child is not even his. The DNA that she did was fraud. Like everything was fraud. Like she didn't even really send the DNA in. She made a fraud DNA email, something similar to the real email, but she threw like an extra letter or something in to make it look like it was real or whatever. And I'm just like, girl, you weird. Like, you weird as fuck. Y'all, I had to stop talking to her. Like, that's not my friend. I'm very careful when I say who my friend is. That's not my friend, but she was, somebody that I felt like was cool. But that girl was fraud, bro. Like, for real, for real. I don't like that shit. And then our mutual friend, she just like, oh, I'm not going to get in it. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm not going to get in it. But you'll sit on the phone and you'll try to talk about the shit to me. And I told her straight up, I don't want to hear nothing about it because I don't like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's messy. That's some fraud shit you doing. You playing with your child feelings. You playing with these men feelings. People will hurt you behind shit like that. Like, seriously, these men will literally hurt you for playing with these kids, you know what I'm saying, on them and shit. Like, don't do that. I don't fuck with it. I don't know. But y'all can drop down in the comment and let me know how y'all feel about it. Because I just really, really, really feel like that was just some fraud shit. You know what I'm saying? What she did. And it wasn't cool at all. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. And yeah. But we're going to be doing these story times. A lot more story times too, y'all. That's what we're going to do. Because I got plenty of shit that I can tell y'all, bro. That be really, really going on. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about these story times. But y'all be blessed. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And turn on that post notification. So y'all will know when we post. And Fight in the Gang is out.